And what Frank was able to do, and it's very underrated and sometimes very difficult to do, is to be the straight man. That you had Howard Cosell, you had Don Meredith. I mean, you sort of had chaos on the fringes here, and Frank still had to call the game no matter what was going on between Don Meredith and Howard Cosell.
Yes, he had to. It was like, it was romper room in a way with what Cosell was doing and what Meredith was doing, and nothing like that had been done before. But somebody put it many years ago, somebody has to fly the plane. You can be having a lot of fun in the back, but somebody has to be at the controls and get you from the start of the game to the finish of the game, and that's what Frank was able to do. And, Dan, I think, through those years, and I was at ABC from the mid-'70s on, so I wasn't directly involved with Monday Night, but, knowing all of the principles, Frank and Dandy Don were great friends, but that Howard resented Frank. Howard resented any guy who came off the field, and Howard was the guy who created the term jockocracy. And he felt that the jocks were taking over, and he resented the fact that, Howard was still Roone Arledge's adversary in a way, even though Roone was the guy who put him in there, and Frank was very, very close to Roone, and Howard would go around saying, "Oh, Frank, he's the human mannequin. He's Roone's Bobo." Wow. And Howard was never complimentary about Frank. And then, of course, Howard retired. I became Frank's partner for all of those years on Monday Night. But I'll tell you one thing about Frank. He had a fantastic heart. I mean, he was a guy who was getting ripped and blasted by Cosell for years, both publicly and privately. And when Howard got sick, after he was long gone from ABC, and nobody wanted to have anything to do with Howard at any point, who went to visit him? Frank. He had a great heart, he was a good man, and he always looked for the best in everybody.